This is Cheryl Antonio, The Untold Story, Episode 3, The Fake Pregnancy. One of the major facts in the case in relation to the possible motive on the part of Robert Hitch was that Cheryl Antonio had devised a plan to fake a pregnancy, as Robert had told Rachel that he had a relationship with another girl in another state and had allegedly gotten this girl pregnant. This is an interesting fact as it confirms that Rachel and Robert did have a sexual relationship, which Robert continues to deny. The evidence of the fake pregnancy was detailed in Rachel's diary and also revealed by several witnesses, both close friends of Rachel and, interestingly, some mere acquaintances that did not know Rachel very well. This can be justified to an extent by the fact that Rachel was only 16 years old and confided in a lot of people. Evidence in relation to Robert's alleged affair during his trip interstate for a surf life-saving event in New South Wales has been confirmed by the young woman he had the relationship with. Robert did not deny telling other members of the Surf Life-Saving Club about this affair, but denied ever mentioning it to Rachel. Rachel had, however, told her mother and several of her school friends that Robert had told her that he had met a girl interstate and that he had gotten her pregnant. This prompted Rachel to devise a plan to pretend that she was also pregnant, which she went to great lengths to attempt to fabricate evidence of. Rachel planned to confront Robert with this fake revelation to put him in a position where he would have to choose between her and the other girl. In addition to this, considering the other girl lived in another state and that she could potentially be putting pressure on Robert to move interstate to be with her and the child, Rachel may have thought this fake revelation would possibly ensure that Robert remains in Bowen. School friends of Rachel gave evidence about Rachel disclosing the fake pregnancy plan to them, including how she intended to fabricate evidence in the form of a positive pregnancy test by asking an older female acquaintance who was pregnant at the time to provide her with a urine sample. She had told the lady that she required the urine sample for a school project, which the woman later revealed that she highly doubted was the reason for the strange request. Prior to obtaining the urine specimen from the pregnant woman that she knew, Rachel had experimented with litmus paper and various substances to try to achieve the same colour change effect on a pregnancy test. This first attempt failed as she was not able to achieve a convincing positive result on the test. Rachel had told her school friends that Robert had requested her to take the pregnancy tests, and due to the failure of the first attempt to achieve a positive result, she possibly felt under immense pressure to go to great lengths to ensure that she achieved her ultimate plan. Rachel had allegedly explained the negative results of the first pregnancy test to Robert by stating that she did not follow the instructions properly. The first test allegedly occurred at the toilet block at Queens Beach. The second test was allegedly executed at the Bowen swimming pool, where Rachel used the urine sample she obtained from her friend, the older pregnant woman, and this then resulted in a positive result. It was suggested that Robert and Rachel had travelled to Townsville with the intent to terminate her pregnancy. This is an interesting situation where there's not much evidence. There is a certain amount of circumstantial evidence, but that's quite vague. In relation to this, the date that this trip to Townsville allegedly occurred, either that date or immediately after, Robert Hitch's bank account statements show that he had withdrawn $300, which was a large percentage of his account balance at the time. Rachel had also allegedly told her school friends that she was going to get $300 from the alleged father of the baby. The fact that the specific amount of $300 was reflected in different evidence relating to this allegation indicated there is likely to be some truth to the allegations. There was no conclusive evidence that Rachel had ever attended a clinic for a pregnancy termination procedure in Townsville. It cannot be conclusively established that Robert and Rachel had ever made the trip to Townsville. However, it is highly likely that Rachel had never made an appointment at a clinic, either in Townsville or elsewhere, for the procedure, as this would have revealed that she was not in fact pregnant. Rachel's diaries and her school friends' evidence also document the events leading up to this weekend meeting where Rachel was to allegedly confront Robert about the pregnancy. No doubt for Robert, a single man, aged 25 years, to have a 15-year-old schoolgirl pregnant would cause him significant complications, to say the least. Particularly as the girl who was pregnant was the very person his father had warned him to stay away from. Perhaps significantly compounding matters was that at this time, Robert had moved on and was in a publicly known relationship with a girl called Susan Cummins. If Robert realized he had been tricked into believing that Rachel was in fact pregnant, it would certainly create strong emotions and could conceivably create a